back when I was just a young Padawan, you know, my OG Jedi Master Obi-Wan used to always tell me that force can't be on you, it got to be in your player. And now that I'm a young Jedi Master myself, you know what I tell my bitches? You better have my credits.
I'm gonna have to force choke a bitch out you.
I don't want to have to do that, baby. Now, we could be on good terms if you come swallow these midichlorians like a good girl. Kangland. I probably should have did that. I fucked up. This shit, I went too far. I went too far. Hey, man, anyway.
Kangland.
Hey, what them guys do with the bit of tits you already know. It's your country king folks. Shout out to K-I-N-G, the king with the gangs and all that good. Like that there, little buddy. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Kangland X Wangland. And color me impressed by another Star Wars release from EA, following behind the solid Metroidvania-esque Jedi The Fallen Order, which you should check out, by the way. But coming from a galaxy far, far away is Motor's dogfighting, starfighting, spaceship combat simulator-ish release Star Wars Squadrons, built on the foundation laid in Star Wars Battlefront 2 Starfighter Assault Mode, and goddamn, I think your boy just got started out. But yeah, man, is this game a fucking good time? Even more so if you got the right equipment to get fully immersed in the experience of being a hot shot pilot in the Star Wars universe, if you can get past some of the bugs in the surprisingly budget price multiplayer focus offering. But you already know your focus about to lock in and home these missiles right on that ass right after I roll this specialist G-roll. But hold on, wait. If you can humor me just for a bit and allow me to practice my droid in danger screen. Okay, hold on, here it come. Me. Woo! I'm chill. But so what is exactly Star Wars Squadrons? Well, like I said before, it's a space combat experience set in the universe just after the third movie in the original trilogy, even though that info barely makes any difference. But yes, indeed, sir or ma'am, it's time to hop back in ye old cockpit of the mainstay favorite starfighters like the X-Wing or the A-Wing, or you could take it to the dark side with the TIE Fighter or the Interceptor and boost in the battle to turn the tides of a seemingly never-ending war. Now, what we have on offer as far as the modes are concerned is a single-player campaign covering both sides of the fight to allow you to experience all of the ships the game has to offer, a 5 versus 5 dogfighting mode where you choose your favorite ship with the custom loadout and go to town in the first to 30 kills race of lasers and missiles and exploding ships, and lastly, a fleet battle ejector mode where your team faces off with another team in the AI and trying to destroy and defend each other's fleet, where ship choice, team composition, and a strategic plan to take out the capital ships is what's needed to earn the W at the end of the day. Now, the story is the typical bad guy turns good guy to help the good guys win, but now the bad guys have extra motivation to take out the good guys, not just to win the war, but to spit in the face of their former associate. And while the story won't inspire you to feel any type of way at all in your quest for victory, the Star Wars accoutrement is there to fill in the gaps for fans of the franchise. Now, I'm not going to say it's terrible, but it's a pretty simple A to B to C scenario that's really more of a tool to teach you the game's flight mechanics and weapon systems more than it's there to tell a grand Star Wars story. Add in decent voice acting, a smattering of characters of different races with their own unique personalities, and an attempt to make you feel more connected with your squad. And for me, at least, especially with the type of game this is, I feel like it's just enough to get the job done. But the job it really does is teaching the player. Now, if you decide to pick this game up, do yourself a favor and make sure to go through the campaign, because it really does a solid job at forcing you to learn the gameplay mechanics that you will absolutely need to survive in multiplayer. Word to mom dookies, you won't like this game or understand why you can't get shit done online if you don't at least play half of the story mode, so you can learn all the cool stuff like diverting power to specific ship systems depending on the situation you're in battle, or the cool ass ability to be able to boost drift like Dominant Toretto in space to dodge attacks or to stay locked in on your target. Speaking of which, I gotta give props to the Dells at Motor for coming up with some simple systems that add just the right amount of complexity when things get heated. For real, diverting power to the engines to catch up to the ops, earning a boost and a maneuverability bonus in the process, just to boost drift around your target, and then switching power to weapons to waste set opponents never gets old. But nah, I know for the folks that haven't played this game yet are like, what the hell you talking about, bud? Trust when I say that there's a low-key depth to the game that isn't overly complex or hard to understand once you get into it. It's just more of that you need to have the combat awareness and make the right choices for the right situation. Now, of course, if I were to be honest, I love mechanics like these that aren't so convoluted that you focus more energy on how to do something rather than the actual act of doing it. And if you want more complexity, the PC version does allow for more options to fine-tune the ship's subsystem aspects if you want, but you can tell that the game was fully designed around diverting power all the way to one system or another. And I gotta say, I've also really been enjoying the online as well. I mean, it's mostly due to the fact that for me at least, it's a fresh experience compared to running and gunning in Call of Duty or similar shooters. I truly cannot describe how it really feels to be in a situation where I'm being shot at. My only option is to weave and dodge the pew-pews coming at me, diverting power to my engines and boosting the head to make me harder to hit, and then seeing the path through some debris that at the last minute I decided to boost drift through, shaking off my hair to only to target that same enemy with the advantage of him now being my target, switching my power to weapons and blasting him with lasers and missiles until he explodes the little tiny itty bitty bits. Fucking fantastic. And the same goes with trying to take out the big boy capital ships, as these particular enemies have different destroyable aspects to them, like their targeting systems or their shield generators, which you can choose to attack strategically to help you out in the fleet battle mode. I mean, it's all very exhilarating, and the first several times before the game just becomes a game again, it feels good. Now, in regards to the graphics are decent overall, nothing to write home about, as everything does fit the Star Wars mode as you would expect. Ships look good, not great. Same for the interior of the cockpits, which by the way, this game is purely first person, I guess for authenticity, but I don't mind. But the textures don't seem to showcase a lot of visual fidelity, but it could just be me. All told, the game is a solid package, if a little bare bones, but there are some bugs here and there, some minor, some major, from minor glitches to the game outright crashing at specific points, stopping campaign progression completely. And there was also a major issue at launch with the flight stick deadzone being too dead, I guess, but that was remedied in a patch just before I scripted this video, so I haven't had that much time with it, but more flexible controls is always better, so I assume that the patch was for the betterment of the game. But it seems like the devs are paying attention to the complaints and tackling the issues as best they can. You know, budgets are what budgets are. But fuck all that noise, because I gotta be honest and let you know why I'm really so smelling like a little old kitten with this game, and it's really two things. It's the combination of virtual reality and the HOTAS for me on game. And by the way, I love the HOTAS acronym, HOTAS. I mean, not only does it say ho, but when you spell it out, it stands for hands-on throttle and sticks, which sounds like some kind of tandem sex toy for you and your partner, but let me not get beside myself. Okay, I'm sorry. The thing that really sold me is that being immersed in the control setup really lends to a gameplay experience you don't often get when you're just playing on the monitor or the 4K TV. Feeling the weight of the ship with the stick, physically using my head to keep, you know, my opponents in my sights while I force my ship to turn at all kinds of crazy angles and speeds. Hell, just the feeling of narrowly slipping past sections of a previously destroyed ship has yet to get old, and I doubt it ever will in VR, so much so that the game seemed to be developed for VR first, but then in order to give the game a chance to sell well, it was restructured for flat screen for, you know, the common gamer masses. So I'ma just say that if you got PC VR or PlayStation VR and are able to score any type of decent flight stick, you should do yourself a favor and cop this game. It may not be one that you play forever, it may not be one that gets months and months of additional content, but I can promise you, when you hear and see a TIE fighter screeching by you and that Star Wars soundtrack kicks in as you barely scrape by a skirmish with your life, it's an experience that you won't soon forget. And you better not soon to forget to drop below this video, hit that like button, drop a comment or two, and of course, pew 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 pew, the ever loving ish out of that subscribe button, man. You know the King Land, the King folk would greatly appreciate it, but you already know my motto. I gotta go, light speed ahead, and gains tech success. The hell else you need, and I'm out here. King Land.